Hello everyone, this is Danny from Danny Design Studio, and this is the video tutorial for the Spring Workshop 2024, and we are going to be making this handbag gift bag that can double up as a card gift bag. So if you like making cards and you like to give it away as a present, you can open this, and I have got a whole load of cards. These are note cards, but I have designed this. There's about 6 note cards in here, but I've designed it so that you could fit C6 envelopes and cards in there. So you could either give it as a gift bag with other things in it, or you can give your homemade cards that you make. You can give it as a gift, and that's what this was designed for. So I have made it also in the pink and done it slightly different, and this is the card on the top as opposed to the DSP, so 2 different sort of types of handbag, but I'm going to make it these are the, what papers are these? I've gotten Forever Love in the mini catalogue that's current at the moment. So what you need for it is 2 pieces of the same DSP. These are 12 by 12 or 30.5 by 30.5 centimetres, so 2 large pieces of the same. Then a coordinating pattern for the flap over, the top flap over. I'm using this one this time, and 3 pieces of the same coloured cardstock to match your DSP. So we start it all off in sections. So we're going to make the base of the bag at the moment, the front and the back panels. Now what I'm going to do is, because paper is very thin, put it both together, making sure that the direction is the same way. This hasn't got a direction, but if you have got a patterned paper, what you need, say for example I was using this one, your main measurement is 24 by 23 centimetres for these back panels. So I would want the 24 to have the pattern going downwards, and then I'm going to cut at 24 because that is the width of my base. So if you've got a direction in your pattern, your 24 centimetres, the direction needs to be downwards on both papers, but I am using these, so it doesn't matter. So at 24, I'm going to cut at 24, making sure they're both together. These 2 bits are going to make your handle later on, so you need to keep that safely aside. Then you turn it round, making sure that your papers are together. If you prefer to do it singly, then that's fine too. And then you're going to cut at 23 centimetres. So this can be used for the buckle. So again, put that to one side. So that is your 23, and that is the way it's going to go. So that is my 24 centimetres, so that's the base. I'm going to flip it round on, and if you've got a direction, the paper needs to be sideways. The direction going sideways, because eventually that is your base and it's going to be in that direction, a vertical direction. So you need to turn it sideways on the 23 centimetre side, score it at 6 centimetres, and and 21 centimetres. Do that on the same side. Just checking that's my 23 centimetre side. Repeat that. You're just scoring. I'll go through a little bit of why you're doing this. So that panel, the bigger panel, is going to be a base, and that is a little tab. Okay, so then next thing I want to do is get a ruler. I'm going to have to use a pen, I think, 'cause I can't see on this paper, and I want you to see as well. So I'm going to get a little, you've got your top little tab at the top and the 6 centimetre panel this side. So from the edge, I'm going to mark at 3 centimetres that side and 3 centimetres that side. You're not going to see that pen. So do exactly the same on this side. Trying to get away from the camera. The camera's in the way. There. Let's see if my eyesight's any good and I can see that. So then I'm going to show you how to cut it, because we're going to make the diagonal part of the bag. So that is my mark. Going to put it in the cutting track here to that score line, not to the edge. Can you see that? Is it in shot? Just about. So that's my little mark down to that score line corner. Okay, so just make sure got it right, and then I'm going to cut. Same on this side, just down to the score line corner. So you get something like that. Repeat with the other one. Pop it in your track from the mark in the cutting track to that score line corner. Cut. And again, I've done this one with you just because we're going to do this again with card. And make sure it doesn't slip. So you need to hold on to the DSP. Okay, so you get, let's clear some of my rubbish away. So you will get 2 panels that look like this. That's scored there, that's the tab at the top. You're going to get 2 panels like that. And that is the basis of your bag. Okay, so what we're going to do is stick these together. So just be delicate with the DSP. You're not going to stick this panel down yet. You're just going to stick these 2 bigger panels together like that. So my preference is wet glue, but you can choose whatever you like as long as you get it correct the first time round. So I need a bit of time to make sure I get it accurate. So that's just doubled up because it makes it a little bit stronger as well. So you should have something that looks like that. Okay, put that to one side because we're not ready for you yet. So we've done that bit, and then I've got room on my desk. Right, so the next bit is to do the back and front panels. Sorry, the box base. The box base is already cut for you. That's the box base. You can purchase this tutorial on my website if you would like. I'm going to do it in imperial as well as centimetres metric. So this is my box base, and I've already cut and scored it according to the tutorial. So I'm then going to make it into a box, because that, don't need that in the end. So you're going to burnish these score lines really well, especially this bit, because that is the bit that needs to hold together well. So if in doubt, just keep going. This cardstock is very thick. So you end up something like that. Then I'm going to cut my scissors off. So, and then notch on that side. Cut these little four corners. So you'll cut this, there's a little square here. I'm cutting that first score line to the left, cutting up it, and then notching into that little square. Same on this side. So then I'm going to glue this panel, this tabs rather, bring that in, bring that up, making sure that is really a good box. Those corners come together well. So maybe do one at a time, not looking at me, I'm doing two at a time, but making sure those corners are really well fitted together. Okay, same on this side. I'm doing two at the same time because of speed, for your sakes. So just make sure, again, this is all flush, and this side too. And then that is your little box. Okay, so that is going to go in the base of your bags that you've just made. So that has got a little border all the way around, but especially these two ends we need to make sure, because you've got a side panel going in there, so we need to have a little gap about that much. So I'm going to stick that down. And making sure there's this edge and that these two opposite edges are roughly the same, and top and bottom is roughly the same too. you've got a little gap here and a little gap at the top. So this forms, if you wanted to put your cards in here, you can put your cards in there quite well. So that's what you end up with. So the next stage, we just quick look at my tutorial. So we've done the box base, and now we go on to the strengthening panels. So what you have to do is the front and back panels for strengthening. So what I've done, I've needed one piece of cardstock and cut it. That would have been my cardstock. So I've cut it like that, and I don't need that bit. Okay, so these bits I've already marked with a 3 centimetre inside here on the 21 centimetre side, and I'm going to cut again just like I did before. Let's get my camera, everything the right way. So that is my mark. I'm going to put that in there right to the edge, to the corner here. I'm going to cut that, and on this side, and the same on here. Just about see it. I'm not sure whether you can, but you get the idea. I would recommend, as I am going to do in my spring workshop, that you do this first time with scrap card and scrap DSP. You do a prototype. So that is your front and back panels. Now you're going to keep that aside too. So then you have got to do the side panels. So these are the side panels. You need 2 of these. I've already scored 2 centimetres on each side of the narrower side, and then I have made a measurement 5 centimetres, and if you can just see that in the middle at the top, so that's a 10 centimetre side. I've just made a mark at 5 centimetres. So then I'm going to score it from there down to that first score line here, not to the edge. You can see it a little bit better. So from that little mark to the score line, creating a diagonal score line. So again on the other side, exactly the same, to the score line, not to the outer edge. The same with this card. So you get something, let's take this away a minute, you get something like this. Okay, so the next thing is to create this panel. So that score line is going to be a mountain fold. This is going to be a valley, the first diagonal, right to the bottom there. Do it really well. Another valley, full line. And then a mountain, the last tab. So it should look something like that. Okay, do exactly the same. Mountain, valley, the two diagonals are valleys, and the two tabs are mountains. So like that. Okay, the next thing is these little tabs here, you want to cut at a little angle, so they're going to get in the way. Okay, so these two on that side, these two on that side. Same with this one, just a little bit off. Right, so you're going to get two like that, okay? Then what you're going to do is take one of them and the edge of your paper, I'm going to leave it at that angle. So I've got my front or back panel like that, flat on the surface here. Then I'm going to take my side panel with the triangular bit point at the always at the top. It doesn't go at the bottom, it's always at the top. So this is the little tab that I want to glue onto my side panel. So I'm going to glue it. Try not to let it ooze out too much. So I'm going to take it, then put it at the side here, and then right down the bottom here, right down there to the edge, okay? And then this edge needs, and you need to do what you have wet glue for this, so that needs to be right to the edge here, making sure you concentrate on this bit and the edging, okay? This bit's the important bit because otherwise you'll have a gap, okay? So keep that, spend a little time on it. That should look like that, okay? So that's going to go across here, and then that is going to come down once we've got the panel in there. That's going to come down, and then that is going to be glued to that, so you get your little bag edge. Okay, so I'm just going to do the other side. Make sure that the triangular tip is at the top, so I'm going to glue that side this time. Come right to the edge. Make sure this is right down to the bottom where that meets, and right to the side of that paper. Just squish it along. Like that. Okay, so that is going to go like that. So you're going to end up with something that looks like this. Right, the next part of my tutorial. So then you're going to put one of your side panels on, like this. Now you can put it in like that if you prefer. Put it inside this. It's up to you, because the other one will probably go like that, but so that you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to put it outside. So I'm going to glue this down the side panel. Glue this down and make sure these two bits at the top meet. So these two bits at the top, concentrate on those two bits, and then that will fall into place. And then you can do your top tab to make it a neater finish. Like that. So that is, your bag is coming along, okay? So that's how it's going to look. So then you just carry on. So your next tab is this one. Just fast forward if you're bored at this stage, you've seen this and you're fine with it. Just make sure that this bit, it goes right down to the bottom. Bring it down, right down to the bottom of that. Then bring this up and make sure those sides meet. Making sure that this gap is down as far as possible. You can, if you want to, glue that inside so that you have a better look, but just concentrate on this bit. And then same with the other side. So this side I'm going to glue. I'm going to glue this bit and glue that bit, just so that you have a choice of what you want to do. So then I'm going to bring that down right in there, stick that to the bottom and bring that up like that, making sure this is right and flush to the side. Put your hand in, making sure that this is stuck down too. Takes a little bit of time. Take your time. Don't rush. Don't start doing something else at this point. Just concentrate on this and it will come together. Okay? So then before we put this tab down, we need to put our little side panel in that we've made. So now this is hard to get in because it's quite big. What I found is put it in at an angle. If you put it in that way at the angle over here, because that's the widest part, and then try not to get glue everywhere. Concentrate on these two bits at the top, like that, and then put your hand in, and then it will stick. Okay, so you're then ready to stick this down. And bring that. So this is the base of your bag done. Okay. Side panels. So now we are ready to do top bit, the buckle and the strap. So you then need your DSP, coordinating DSP. Now this has got a direction, so what I'm going to do is the direction, the largest measurement has to be with the direction going downwards. So I'm going to cut it at 19. And then 15. All this scrap. So my largest measurement is that, and that is what is going to go on this side. That's the largest measurement. So then the flap, I want it to go this way. I think. Do I want it to go this way? Ooh, decisions. I don't know. Because that way it'll, yeah, that way. So it's going to go that direction. So this is the longest part, but we want the flap to be sideways. So this is the, is it 4 centimetre panel? Yeah, 4 centimetres. So 4 centimetres goes in your trimmer like this. So the direction is that way, to the right. Okay, so 4 centimetres, and I'm only scoring. So that flap is going to be at the back, and this is going to be at the front. So to curl it, I pop it flat on my surface, get my bone folder, and then with your bone folder flat on the surface, pull this tab up a little bit, gently, and then you can see it is curling. And again, this side. Again, this side. So until you're happy with it, just gently do it. Pull the tab, this back panel tab, and then you're getting the curve like that. Okay, I'm happy with that, so I'm just going to burnish that again. And then I'm going to stick it on there. So that should fit perfectly there. I'm going to get my glue. Just that little 4 centimetre panel. See what is my top and what is my bottom, back and forth. So that is going to be my back, because that is at the back, and then I'm going to bring that on. The best way to do it, I should have said, put that down and then bring your bag to it and then adjust it like this. Bone folder. Once you're happy, there we go. So that is then going to go around like that. So you've done the top flap. Now you need the two pieces that you had, the two long pieces that you had before. You need to have that to make your handles. So the handles are 6 by 30 centimetres. So I'm going to try and do this together. So putting these two handles together, just going to cut it at 1/2 centimetre off the other end and 6 centimetres. Not to cut it. Sorry, yes, I am cutting it. I was thinking of scoring it then. So then I'm going to score it. Let me just check my scoring. Score on short side at 2 and 4. So I'm keeping these in together, making sure got my mic stuck. 2 and 4. And then oh, I haven't finished yet. Score on the long side at 5 centimetres. On one side, just scoring it at 5. So there we go. So what you're going to do is make a strap, cut that in. This might be a bit too long, so I'm just going to cut this a little bit. You won't really see that edge, to be honest. And if you don't like it, then you can put that edge up as long as it's not there. That's right. So I'm going to glue that together, and that one. So you're just making a thicker strap, and you want, that's why I've got 3 sort of panels to this, because I don't want to see the other side of the DSP, and I want strong straps. And then what you can do is that is going to go outwards, it's going to attach to your bag, but with this bit I want to curl it a little bit. Okay, so that's one strap done. Same with the other side. See if this comes over. Just going to cut that again. I thought it was easier to just cut a little bit off instead of faffing around with decimal points and measurements and stuff. So I'm going to put that in first, that edge, because it's a bit jaggy and horrible, jagged. There. Bring that down. And bring that over the top. So that is the 5 centimetre tab, and then with that to my left, I'm going to curve it like that. So it's up to you what kind of length you want your strap to be. So this has got a longer length, but I'm wondering whether to just cut a little bit and have a shorter length. I'm just going to cut a little bit off on each side. I'm just going to give you the idea of a shorter length of strap. Okay, so attach my strap. Now if I go that little 5 centimetre panel, I'm going to bring up to those, as far as I can, to those little score lines, so it looks neater, rather, and then I know it's the same on both sides if I do that. So glue on this side, nice lot of glue, but enough, not too much glue so that it squidges out the edge. So again, put that right up to those, as far as you can go. Okay, hold it there for a second, make sure that it's straight, it looks decent rather than skew width, because otherwise you'll have difficulty joining the handles at the top if one is skew width. So I think that is stuck. So panel is going to come, it's going to be a shorter one. Okay, so then glue on this side. Everything moves. Where can I go? Right, so there's my 5 centimetre tab. I'm going to bring it right to the edge. If I bring it back, then I know that it's straight. And then hold it there for a little while. Hopefully you can see, I don't know what you can see. Right, there we go. Can you see that? There we go. And then I'm going to just glue that together at the top. Can you see that? A lot of glue, but not too much. So that is going to go there. Hold it together a little bit more. So that is a shorter strap, because I felt it sometimes goes to one side, so I wanted to do a shorter strap on this one. Okay, so we then have a piece of gold, so that I have, the measurements are all in the tutorial. So I'm just going to make it look nicer with this. Okay, so that fits, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to glue it. What I should have done is curled it first, but never mind, we will go for it. So in the middle, roughly in the middle. Can you see what I'm doing? Bring that right to the edge. Bring it right to the edge. Fold it over onto this side, like that. And you can, with your bone folder, just give it a little bit of a curl, and then it's just a neater finish, and it sort of matches with the bottom, with the gold in the speciality paper. So there we go. Okay, so then we need to do the last little bit, which is your buckle, strap and buckle fastening. So with your scraps of paper, choose whatever scraps you've got left. Do you want it, do I want that, or do I want that? I think I want this personally, or you could have scraps of card if you prefer, which I'm thinking I might do actually. Let's do scraps of card. So, right, downward strap is 10 by 2.8. Have I got enough scrap? Yes. 2.8. I've done 2.8 because I've got a buckle. So the buckle piece. Let me show you where I got this from. The buckles are from Amazon. They come in this little bag. And there's all different sizes. So your measurement on your tutorial, you might have this smaller buckle, or you've got one of these buckles, so it's slightly different. The buckle is just basically decorative, as well as it holds the actual strap down so it doesn't sort of wander in the air and flap up, just creates a little weight. So that's why you've got two different measurements. So I would measure the inside of the buckle that I've given you, the inside width, because that's where it's going to go through. So this one is for this buckle, just slightly, yeah, it just holds it in place. That was the whole idea. It's meant to go this way. Okay, so that is from Amazon. So then you've got your buckle. There's about 4 centimetres that I'm going to put onto there. I'm not measuring it. I'm just sort of looking at it, averaging. That's the same distance, and that's roughly the same distance, and that is about 4 centimetres. So I'm going to glue that onto my top panel. Can be a little bit fiddly. So there's no measurements as such, otherwise it's just too fiddly. But this little buckle bit holds it down, which is handy. Okay, and then this bit will go into the little flap at the bottom. So your little flap bit is 3 by 8. Is that big enough? Yes. So 8, 3, so then I need to score it. Oh, is that off camera? Sorry. 2, scoring it, 2 and 6. So that is going to fold that way, that is going to fold that way, and this bit you want a little bit of a loop, curve rather, just a little bit. So you're just going to curve it with your bone folder, and that is going to go onto your bag panel like this. Get up for this. So that's going to go like that. That can go up slightly, and then that will go into there. So I'm just judging how is it going to come down. I probably want it around about there. So these two tabby bits, kind of glue, and see where I'd like my bag and buckle to go. Roughly in the middle, roughly straight. Just having a look where I'm happy. That's a little bit skew with. Just gently. Okay, and there we go. You are done. You've got this lovely little handbag. This is your back panel. Very strong. These straps are good enough to carry all the weight of the cards if you have inside. They're strong, that's why I did this in card, and this is all doubled up, strong glue, and you can open it up, put all your handmade cards inside. The inside looks really quite nice. It's not scrappy bits of paper and stuff, so I think all in all somebody would be very pleased to have that gift. You can put perfume in it. It's beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you for watching.